Rhonda Byrne, who's the one that produced The Secret, contacted us and asked if we would be willing to participate. And it just so happened that there was a mastermind group that Jack Canfield organized for Aspen, Colorado, where 35 people that work in book authors and writers and teachers happened to be gathered. So she realized, man, this is an opportunity. I got to go and film as many as I can right there on the spot. So she selected best-selling authors and people that are out there speaking and doing education like myself, and she filmed us. So the original movie was a primetime television 2-hour special. It was originally supposed to go across the world. But at the last minute, the Commonwealth Games bought out the time, and it changed the whole schedule, so they decided to go out with the Vetus DVD and put it out across the world. And it was a phenomenon. It just happened to hit the market just right. And we reached literally 1 billion people with that. And yeah, there have been millions of people that have had their lives changed because of that. I think that it was a little bit diluted down and watered down for the general audience. There was much more profound information that was filmed that was never released, which luckily each of the speakers that were involved have gotten that footage now and we're releasing it. I have a new DVD coming out called Creative Intention that's about creating your life the way you really, really intend to have it. And so now there's even more footage coming out that was not released yet. But the Secret was a phenomenon, and I'm blessed to be part of it.
I was amazed at, as you have projected in your life, you think of a person and they show up, they're there. You know, when it's preparation meets opportunity, opportunity meets preparation. Some more tips that were in the Secret, could you share with them? I know there was miraculous things that went on there.
Well, you know, I was not involved in each of those different components because each speaker had different stories. But the basic theme of The Secret was that if we are really clear about what we really, really want in life, and it's truly us, truly congruent, and we're willing to concentrate on it, dominate our thought on it, visualize it how we want it, like a sports person does. Leading sports people know this. Affirm it inside to us. Discuss it with people that believe in it, and take action on it every day. We increase the probability of that showing up in our life. We increase the probability of seeing opportunities, making decisions on those opportunities, and acting on those opportunities. And we tend to draw and magnetize opportunities to help us. And there's no doubt that anybody, if they're really acutely aware of what's going on in their life, what they think about, they do bring about. It's just a matter of consistently thinking about it, building momentum, and staying with something. If you think about something and move around and flip-flop all over the place, you never give it a chance to build momentum and create. If you stay focused on something long enough. I mean, I've had a dream to travel the world and step foot in every country on the face of the earth since I was 17. Some people look at me and say, well, oh, you've done that. I say, well, I'm a slow learner. It's taken me 38 years. but I'm still pursuing that. I haven't wavered from that. I've been focused on that for all these years. You stay with it. You create it.
That's why you're so successful. I remember, I was talking about health a few minutes ago. I remember how the Yellow Rose came about. I was doing healings. I had people over and praying for me in my home. And a lady came there, and you met Kate. And Kate came there and was just like, you know, she didn't want to leave. And she said, would you pray for me? She said, I've lost everything in LA in the earthquake. She said, I've come to Houston. All I have is a little microphone and a little nothing hardly. And she was sleeping on the floor. And she said, Wanda, and I had a group of people there, and she said, would you pray with me? I would like to have a radio show. She was a reporter, a talk show host in LA. And she said, would you pray with me? I would like to have my talk show again. And so she didn't want to leave that night. I mean, it was like, it was amazing. She left. She calls me back up the next day, and I was asking God, I said, Lord, what direction do you have for me? What is my purpose? What do you want me to do? And that was my quest. And so Kate, she left that night. She called me back up the next day, And she says, Wanda, would you meet me for lunch? Would you meet me for lunch? She said, I had this dream last night, and the Lord showed me Wanda Yellow Rose. She said, had you ever thought about being a talk show host? And I'm using this as an example because I'm self-taught myself, and everything I've done, it's been God-given talent. And so she said, had you ever thought about being a talk show host? And I said, no, but I'll give it a try. And so I go down, and bless her heart, she was sleeping on a mat on the floor, and I brought Kim O'Neill, How to Talk to Your Angels, and so I was talking to her, and so she says, well, you're a natural to people. And so then she says, Wanda, she said, let's get some more guests to be on the show. And I said, okay. And then I'm going, wait a minute here. We don't have this, we don't have that. So I prayed. God brought a person into my life that set her up, the whole studio, you were there, set everything up there, paid for everything, and that's how the Yellow Rose got started. And my first guest was Ross Perot. And when I went in to tell her, and I'm using this example because no matter, again, back to what background you come from, you have God-given talent. And so I went in and I told Kate, I said, Kate, I campaigned for Ross Perot, and I said, I called him up and I said, would you like to be on the Yellow Rose? And Kate says, oh, Wanda, you've only had a couple of interviews. You're not ready for Ross Perot. And I was absolutely